Hello, good afternoon, everybody. So today's topic of discussion will be on operating systems deadlock. So I'm sharing the notepad to all of you. Just see. Okay, I'm starting. I'll write here in this notepad the theory as well as the algorithm. Then in MS Word, I'll explain 2 to 3 examples. One example will from gate questions. One of the what is that question that is repeated every time from operating system deadlock. So that will cover. So first, I'm moving to the basic concepts of deadlock and why we are using this bankers algorithm. Okay. So first is what is the definition of a deadlock? Okay. Uh, here, see here, I'm writing deadlock. Okay. What is deadlock? What is this? Okay. If I ask anyone what is deadlock, deadlock means obviously the name itself says everything. The lock. Okay. Uh, when because we know the operating system managing all the processes in our uh, system. Okay. Usually the basic task of an operating system is memory management, processor management, or you can say process management, then file management, and then secondary last one is disk management. Okay. So here this deadlock we are covering in the process management as the process management task by the operating system. So in a multi-processing environment like Windows, okay, so or in Linux, okay, the difference between Windows and Linux is one is single user multitask operating system, one is a multi-user multitask operating system. In both the case, whenever multitasking is involved, okay, there are many processes at a time we need to execute. Okay, so there are various algorithms to manage this FCFA, something SJF, so primitive, non-primitive, or you can say SRTF. Okay, shortest remaining time fast. So then round robin scheduling algorithms. Okay, so anyhow, so these algorithms are popularly used for how to schedule the process. Okay, which process will be given more priority. Okay, so in that case, sometimes we'll face problem. Okay, so what is the problem? Let I'm giving some example. Let I'm denoting the processes. Let 3 processes in my system. I'm opening. Let at the same time I'm browsing my internet. One process. Second process I'm writing some MS Word document. So that's why I opened MS Office a package. Okay, and third one is the same time also without closing any one of the above 2 processes, browsing as well as the MS Word document. I'm also writing some code. Okay, any let Java. I'm practicing a Java code also. Okay, Java program. So that's I open some ID, let Eclipse ID, and for that some Java JDK version let 7. Okay, so JDK 7 is also running in my system. So 3 processes. One is internet. It is Google Chrome, one process. Okay, as a browser. Then MS Office, a package. Second process for Word document, and third process is what a compiler. Okay, Java C. Sorry, Java compiler. JDK version 7. Okay, so 3 processes. So in that times here, sometimes you see at a time, let what I'm doing, I'm minimizing browsing task. Okay, let the internet is slow, writing some code in my Eclipse ID, then testing, compiling if it is okay, then waiting some time for running, and then I'm moving to Word document. Okay, preparing something. What I let it is related to the programming. What I'm doing now, I'm writing some comments in the MS Word so that I can share. Okay, so these processes, okay, and they are utilizing some resources also. Okay, so resources are nothing but that may be any obviously memory or some file. Okay, or you can say whenever I'm saving, it is moving to the hard disk. Okay, so a file as file. So that's why these are the resources. Okay, that help to execute uh, all my 3 processes. Okay, so so this is the so how it will be managed. Okay, so I'm denoting these 3 are P1, P2, P3 are the 3 processes, and so I'm writing here. So P1 is my first process, and P2 is the second process. Okay, so P3 is the third process. Okay, So, and they all are executing simultaneously, concurrent execution. That's why let to execute always it requires, every process requires a resource. So I'm denoting this as R1. Okay, that is let initially allocated to P1. Okay, some resource, then only P1 is capable for execution. Okay, then P2 let is holding something. So this is called holding. Okay, holding a resource by process P2. Then P3 also, because it is executing, so let it is holding a resource R3. So this may be any resource memory. Usually let some from primary memory a sections of the RAM, it is reserved to every process, then it is executing. So you consider that section as resources. Okay, so now see here, it is called holding the process. Okay, I'm writing, it is called the process are getting executed because it is holding individual resources. Okay, so what happen sometimes, then what is deadlock? So sometimes what happen when let P1 while using, okay, this resource, remember, always this one process is capable of holding many resources, and as per the need of the process, okay, let it is any process, this requires all these, all three resources are let in the meantime, all it is required by all these processes. Okay, it means P1 while completing its execution requires some R1, requires some R2, and also requires some R3. Okay, and similarly let P2 also requires during his lifetime, its lifetime, it also requires R1, R2, and R3. Similarly, P3 also let it is requiring these resources R1, R2, and R3. Okay, so these are the requirement. There are 100 number of resources. Okay, but this for these processes, let these three processes are requiring only these three resources. So okay, so P1 is holding R1, it is executing, and P2 is holding R2, it is executing. P3 is holding R3 and is also executing. And after some time, P1 requires R2, P1 also requires R3, P2 also requires R1, P2 also requires R3, and P3 also requires in its lifetime R1, and P3 also requires R2. Okay, so these are a multi-processing environment, usually window environment. Okay, so now what happened? Let a certain condition arises. What is that condition? Let after some time P1 requires R2. Okay, left after some time P1 requires R2. In the same time P2, okay, P2 is requiring R3. Okay, okay. Then P3 then also requiring, what is that, R1. Okay, now see here, uh, one is hold condition. Okay, another is what, something called wait condition. Okay, now please try to understand, this is called hold and wait case. Okay, what is hold and wait case? Now P1 is holding R1 and P1 is requiring R2. So P1 now, because this R2 is already allocated to P2, so P1 will wait. Okay, so now P1 is in hold and wait case or hold and wait condition. Similarly, now P2 is holding R2. Now P2 is requiring R3. So P2 is also hold and wait state. Okay, and P3 is holding R3, and P3 is also requiring R1. So that's why P3 is waiting for R1, because it is R1 is already allocated to P1. So P3 is also in hold and wait. So in this case, now here, let after some one time wait condition arises for every processes. Okay, so now P1 is waiting for R2, P2 is waiting for R3, P3 is waiting for R1. So all are in now in a waiting state. Okay, so now you can ask why they're, if they are waiting they can release. No, they cannot release. Okay, so until unless P1 is not finished all the task of R1, let it is not releasing this R1. P2 is not releasing R2, P3 is not releasing R3. Okay, it means this is the condition simultaneously. That's why I wrote here and. Okay, no process can release the resource until unless it is not releasing the from primary memory. Okay, so in this case now, and at a particular moment, okay, it's not always happened, but this is a case, exceptional case. All processors are, those are sharing the memory at a time, they are requiring the resources, they are already allocated to other process. Okay, so this condition arises. Okay, so now all are waiting, all are waiting. Now you can say why they will not release. Now there is a condition late, you can say. Now if the same wait case, I can say now it is, you can if I say P1 is waiting for R2, P2 is waiting for R3, P3 is waiting for R1 at the beginning, then you can classify this wait as a circular wait. Okay, why it is a circular wait? I'm telling why it is a circular wait, because here if I assume this P1 is the first and this is second and this is third process, P1 is waiting for second, P2 is waiting for third, and P3 is waiting to the beginning, that is R1. So that's why it is forming a circle. Okay, so if you graphically represent, then definitely you will find a circle. So that's why this weight is now converted to hold and circular weight. Okay, so another case is what? Now coming to no preemption. What is no preemption? Preempting means forcefully allocating a resource to a process. So here there is a condition, there should not be preempting, or preempting algorithm is not utilized here. So no preemption. No preemption. If preemption is allowed, preemption. Okay. If preemption is allowed, what will happen? What will happen? If preemption will be allowed, then what will happen? This P2 can forcefully take a resource R3. Okay, and P3 can take forcefully if it is powerful as per the priority. P3 can take forcefully this R1 if any process is powerful. Okay, has more priority than any other process. Let P3 has more has priority more than the P1, then R1 can be forcefully given to P3. Then the circular will wait will not be happen. Okay, so if once the circular will not happen, then there will be what? Any one of the process will run. Okay, so if R1 will be given to P3 forcefully, then P1 will only wait for R2, P2 will wait for R3. Okay, and P3 will not wait. So in a multiprocessing environment, if any one of the process is executing, then this is not a lock. Okay, this is not a lock. So only that's why there is a case, a case I am telling here. This case must exist, means once the resource is allocated, until unless, okay, the process is not ready to release, no other process can take forcefully, okay, to that resource. So that's why there should not be, what is that, for preemption, there should not be preemption. If preemption is allowed, any process can take. Okay, so another case is what? Mutually exclusive to each other. Okay, this is also one of the case. What is mutual exclusion? They cannot share. Okay, exclude. Mutual meaning is what? The same resource at a time can be given to two process. So if it is given, then you can say it is mutual. But here the terms is exclude. Exclude this case. Okay. Okay. It means what? If R1 is given to P1, then at the same time R1 should not be given to P2. Okay. Or P1, P2 cannot compromise. Okay. Mutually. Okay. Similarly, P2 and P3, if R2 is given to P2, then P3, sorry, R2 cannot be given to P3, or P3 and P2 they cannot share any mutual relationship. That's why this is one of the case. Now here, if you see this hold and wait case, circular wait case, no preemption case, and mutual exclusion case, okay, then we will see P1 will wait for R2, P2 will wait for R2, R3, P3 will wait for R1, and all will be in a halt state. Okay, though three processes are created, no one is getting executed. The system, what is the meaning? Then what the operating system will do? Simply, it will sit idle. Okay, lazy. Okay, and it will be lock. Okay, all the processes are not getting executed. So these are the cases for. Now these are the, you can say, the four main conditions. But if somebody will ask why deadlock will happen, remember it will not happen always. Only when there is a case. Okay, a case out of 1,000. Okay, one case. Okay, the chances is 1%. Okay, you can say very rare. We need to avoid those things. That's why many algorithm came, but this is possible. Okay, so if this case will arise, then we'll see the system, no process in that system, no process is getting executed. Okay, so now I'm writing what I told, what is deadlock. Okay, in a multi-processing, remember this is very important. Okay, so I'm making it as a heading. Okay, what is the definition of deadlock? Okay, just what I told, now I'm writing the same thing, you also write. Okay, in a multi-processing environment, in a multi-processing environment, okay, if number of processes, okay, there are many multi-processing, there are many processes, many resources. Okay, a situation arise. Okay, a situation arise, the cause of the situation will be the above, the below four. Okay, a situation can arise or may arise. Okay, a situation may arise when okay, when no process is getting executed, when no process is getting executed. Okay, no process is getting executed, because of unavailability of resource. Actually the resource is available, but it is not given to. Okay, so that's why we can say it is unavailability, or yes, unavailability, or the resource is not given to that process. Okay, unavailability, availability, okay, availability of resources. Okay, and and that case what will happen, and the system will be halt, and the whole system, the environment and the system will be halt. Okay, the system will be halt. Okay, we can say this situation is called deadlock. Okay, this situation is called deadlock situation. This is a situation actually. Okay, the major regions for deadlock, the four regions. Okay, there is no 2, 3 or 5 regions. Compulsorily these four regions must satisfy. Okay, the four regions for deadlock are at a time. It's and the four regions for deadlock are, the four regions are, okay, this must be at a time satisfy. Okay, just now what I told, hold and wait. Okay, circular wait, no preemption and mutual exclusion. Okay, these are the cases. Okay, so I can write here number 1, number 2, number 2, number 3, number 4. If somebody will ask me to explain more hold and wait, you can see simply you draw this picture P1, P2, P3 and R1, R2, R3, give an arrow here, so that every process is holding. Okay, this arrow means every process. I'll show you a picture. Okay, so hold and wait now. So I'm sharing that picture to a diagram. Okay, so see here, uh, uh, so I'm moving to a okay, you can see here the photo. Now see here in this case, in this case now see here what is it is showing. Okay, how many processes? 2 processes. Okay, so process is getting executed. It means pro our resource assigned to process 1. Okay, resource 1 is assigned to process 1. Okay, so it is holding, so process 1 is holding. Then similarly process 2 is getting executed, means because of a resource. What is that resource? Resource 2. So resource 2 is already assigned to process 2. Resource 1 is already assigned to process 1. So now both are in hold state. Okay, process 1 is holding resource 1 and process 2 is holding resource 2. And another case is also see here in the what is that, orange color. Okay, waiting. Okay, and it is holding here, this process 1 is holding resource 1 and is also waiting at a particular in a situation, in a particular instant, and the process 1 is also waiting for resource 2. Okay, give me that resource so that I can finish my task at the same time. Remember, it's not after, so it's exactly same time. Process 2 is also waiting for a resource 1. Okay, so process 2 is holding 1 and waiting for resource 1. Process 1 is holding resource 1 and is waiting for resource 1 at the same moment. So both are in waiting state, no one is getting executed. So this is called deadlock. So this is the first condition, hold and wait. Second condition, you can see this is circular wait. Okay, you can see here, if you see this arrow, this is creating a circular circle. Okay, so process 2 is holding 1, so process 2 is holding 1, is waiting for some other resource. Again resource 1 is given to process 1, then process 1 is waiting for some other resource 2. So this is creating a circular graph. Okay, so that's, this is the second condition. And third condition is what? Mutual exclusion. Okay, so R1 cannot be shared to both processes. If it is shared, then this will be broken. Okay, which one will be broken? Let R1 is shared to this and this also. It means that this waiting for arrow will be broken. So there will be no circular wait. Okay, or similarly, let this is also given to this process 1, then this arrow will be broke. Okay, will be break. So that's why there will be no circular wait case. Okay, and then another case, circular wait, mutual exclusion. So mutually means this resource 1 cannot be given at a time to 2 and resource 2 cannot be given at a time to 2. Okay, and the last case is what is that last case? I just now I told, yes, what is that? This is nothing but your mutual exclusion. Okay, no preemption, forcefully no one can take. Okay, the fourth case is no preemption. So let process 2 has higher priority than process 1, it means it can take, but this is not allowed because of no preemption. Again I'm repeating, 4 cases. First is circularly, all processes are waiting. Okay, circularly. Second is one, every process is holding 1 and waiting for other one. Third one is no preemption. Okay, no process can take the other resource forcefully. And the last one is what? Mutual exclusion. So no resource can be shared to more than one process. If these 4 cases will satisfy, then we can say this is under deadlock. Okay, so now I'm stopping. Okay, so these are the definition. Okay, I'm moving to again notepad. Okay, again I'm just repeating what I told now. Okay, so that in the next slide I'll explain how to resolve this. Okay, so see here in this notepad, so today's topic was, okay, so today's topic was what is deadlock, okay, and what are the conditions for deadlock. Okay, so now I'm stopping now.